and welcome to today's reading. Today we are using Astrology Made Easy, a guide to understanding your birth chart by Yasmin Boland. And as always, all of the books or decks that are used in my readings are linked in the description box. So if you want to check out any of the materials we used today, you can go down there and see that. And we are on page 87. Scorpio is the dark side, but there's a good side to that, and we shouldn't fear it because it's powerful. Think of the dark mother or the crone. They know things. Scorpio knows things, and we can learn its lessons if we aren't closed off with fear. Wherever you have Scorpio in your chart, there's a layer of scorpionic traits. It's true that the Scorpio holds grudges and that can last for a lifetime, and that's a real pity if you ask me. But it's part of the great human fabric, right? I'll say it again. We all have Scorpio somewhere in our chart. Plus, Scorpio is sexy. Obviously, you can use your birth chart if you have one, or if you know your time of birth, you can make your birth chart online for free at like Cafe Astrology or many other websites and find out where Scorpio is in your chart. However, it's not necessary for this reading. It may simply be interesting to you. What I am getting from this reading, though, is that there may be something that you have shut out of your life that hurt you in a very large way in the past that actually has a lot of gems within it. This can be a part of yourself, it can be a situation, it can be people. For example, you may have been raised in a particular religion and it burned you when you were a kid and you have written it off and you never want to hear anything about it again. But if you were to revisit it now and allow yourself to yes, understand that it is harmful and it has hurt you in the past, but there is a reason that it exists. And what is that reason? What is the light? What is the gem hidden within the rubble? And that may become a large tool in your life that you weren't expecting to find. There is a goddess in Hindu traditions called Kali Ma. She is known as the Dark Mother. This may be an important deity to you, or this may be a good deity to understand an archetype playing out in your life right now if you did some research on it, if you're interested. But essentially, even with all of the things that scare you, the things that may have hurt you in the past, the things that are what you would consider to be dark and maybe even unwanted, there still is value there. And there's a game that I like to play where things that trigger me especially, but you can also play this with things that don't make any sense or things that are pretty obvious too. But it's essentially this, that you ask, what is the truth in this? And you can probably find a truth in just about anything, even if its original meaning or the meaning that the person who said that thing had isn't true. You can still generally find a truth within that statement or thing. So, for example, if I were to get a hate comment that said that my readings were dumb and I could say this to anyone and they could find meaning in it, so it makes me not valid. The truth in that is that yeah, actually anyone who reads this can resonate with it to a degree, because in the higher reality, the reason they can even see this reading or listen to it is because they resonate with it in some way. Whether it's a positive or a negative way is another thing. And also, the human experience is not a new one. So anything that I say, while it may be insightful and fresh to someone who hasn't thought of it in the same perspective as me, I can't say anything that nobody else has ever said before. It has all been said, it has all been done, it has all been seen. So this is kind of a rinse and repeat, but just a little bit different flavor. So for that example, the hate comment isn't right in their original meaning necessarily, but I could still find a truth in that, what they said. So for you, you can apply this to anything that may be in your life or was in your life, something that you feel you've run away from, or something that you feel you are running away from, especially when it enters your environment. I am getting very strongly like a religious vibe from this thing, this entity that you may be running from. It feels very much like someone raised in a Catholic or Mormon or Islamic tradition, something very strict and hardcore, maybe, that was forced upon you because you were just born into it and you washed your hands of it, but you also threw the baby out with the bathwater, not because you necessarily need to include that in your life, but because within it are truths that can help you. I hope that this makes sense, and I hope that you aren't disappointed. Please don't run back into a toxic situation because of this. I don't think that you are being asked to do that. What I think you are being asked to do is to start seeing a more objective perspective on these things that have hurt you in the past. That doesn't mean you have to go to a church if that's what you are running from. But what it can mean is you can reflect on your experience there. You can reflect on anything that you got out of it at all that was positive. Or maybe you can reflect on the general type of person who is susceptible to that. And you can also see that you were able to leave it because you had a particular trait or characteristic that broke that prism for you. And how can you show other people that they don't need to trap themselves into similar situations? But again, I think this is asking you, and it's a very hard ask, to look at these things that have hurt you in the past and try to find something about it that is of value, maybe not to you, but to someone else out there. This is a really difficult reading. I know that this is a huge task and ask, and I don't want you to do this if it's hurting you, so please don't think that I'm telling you to hurt yourself. I do not want you to do that, and I don't think that your guides are asking you to do that. However, if you feel ready for this, if you feel like you're ready to take a second look, it may be time. I hope this resonated. I hope it helped. Let me know in the comments if it did. Give this video a like if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell and select all notifications so that you actually get updated anytime I upload a new video. Until next time, bye.